Sway.
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 In the morning.
In the morning.
In the morning.
Shay goes by.
Wake your punk ass up. That crust out y'all.
One of the stars of 13 Reasons Why. He's a good friend, a very celebrated actor. He's here with us today. Some of his accolades, and DB, I know you like talking about this guy, so I'm going to let you run them down the line.
I'm a big movie guy, so I know y'all know when you was a cocky dude in Biker Boys. I know when you was cocky in Friday Night Lights. I know when you went back in history with Captain America, Miracle of St. Anna.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Antwone Fisher, who can forget that?
Yeah.
Denzel Washington, and now he's in 13 Reasons Why, and he's also talking about his new project he has going on, too.
But his most critically acclaimed work has to be the role he played in Alicia Keys' video Teenage Love Affair. That was it, man. Please welcome him to the show, Derek Luke, ladies and gentlemen.
It's good.
You know, Derek and I have been communicating for a while via text, and I have to apologize. So we've been trying to connect on so many levels, you know. But this particular thing that you're involved with that's taking place next Friday, I wanted to make sure that I was able to offer this platform to get the word out because I think it's important what you're doing. Now, you didn't come alone and introduce the guest who I already know. Go.
This is my man who I call Mr. Genius, Professor Christopher Emdin, professor at Teachers College at Columbia University. Just his name, his accolade speaks on his own. This is my man, Chris E.
What's good, everybody?
What's up, Chris?
Yeah, glad to be here.
Chris and I we kind of worked together.
Yeah, we worked together before. You came up to the Bronx and worked with some of the young people in the school. And, Sway, you still left an impact. Those young folks still talk about that moment.
Really?
Changed their lives in many ways. And then I came up here and spit some bars.
Yeah, you came and spit some bars last time, too. Talk about this. How did you guys come together and talk about this program that's taking place next week?
Well, Derek and I have known each other for about 4 years now. And he was working on a project around education. But he wanted it to have a little bit of an authentic feeling. And I've been doing work in education for about 15 years, using and melding hip-hop into science teaching and learning. And so he came on the project and just checked out my work and thought it would add some energy to what he was working on. And then since then, he sort of gotten the boot in the ground and sort of seeing what it looks like with the young people. Yeah. And since then, we've been partners ever since, just doing school tours and visits, having kids work on science bars, emotional content in their lyrics, and we've just been partners in bringing this thing to life.
How useful has hip-hop been in terms of, because, we're in the digital age.
Of course.
It's hard enough. Kelly Kincaid was just telling me about her niece who entered a gymnastic class, and her attention span is so short because she spent a lot of time on her iPad, and she's online a lot. She's 3. That's right. All right, so she got, they had to put her in a class with older kids, How has hip-hop helped keep the attention span and made learning more interesting?
Good question.
Well, hip-hop it combines all the things that you want in the ideal classroom without people in hip-hop knowing it. So you have words, so you have sort of the word and verbal stimuli. You've got the music in the backdrop that sort of like lulls the emotions and calms folks down. And then oftentimes with hip-hop, you also have the visual. So your hands got to move and you got to have some emotion. And so all those things together is what you want in the ideal classroom. Yeah. Thing is that classrooms don't have that. You have one boring person out front trying to give you information. And hip-hop is sort of multimodal. So when you bring hip-hop into the classroom, it brings the multimodal aspects of hip-hop culture into the classroom, connects that to academic content, and then changes the ways the kids sort of like their attention span, their attention, their motivation, and even their excitement about learning. And, as educators, we know if a young person is excited about content, then you've hooked them for life. Wow. And if they're excited about content like science and math and engineering, which is already inherently hip-hop, we change their lives.
How did that learning style, where did it develop? When did it first come into, the public school system? Like, where did we learn to teach with a teacher in a classroom and 30 or 20 kids just staring at this one person? Who created that?
This is the 1800s. And if you talk about education for youth of color in particular, it started with the Carlisle School, which was designed essentially for indigenous populations, Native American populations, to become Americanized. So these folks got brought back from all their places around the country, and they were like, we're going to make these indigenous populations be more civil. So when they brought them to these schools to be more civil, the purpose of the school was not to give them educational content. The purpose of the school was to strip out their culture. So as you start stripping out their culture, don't talk that way, don't act that way, don't dress that way, don't ask more questions, then they start becoming more like the penultimate American vision. And once that happened, we just kept doing that until today.
You making me think about like uniforms.
Right.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? And I think essentially like uniforms is dope, one-mindedness and all that. But when you talk about stripping the culture,
Right.
that's why I'm here. You know, that's why I wanted to link up with Chris, because no matter what industry you in, you feel like you're welcome in one instance, but we don't want your culture on another.
Right.
But then at the same time, your culture is what's making that impact.
Word.
And we was in, I don't know if I put Spike on blast, but I was in Spike's film class this semester, and it was a quote, and it was like, yo, culture is more powerful than an atomic bomb.
Yeah.
Because you can have somebody in Iraq looking like you and me, you know what I'm saying? A bomb can't do that. You know what I'm saying? But the culture of hip hop has. So, yo, that's ill.
Chris, you said one thing you said is that Derek has been hands-on on the ground level.
Absolutely.
With the kids, hanging out with the kids, talking with the kids, and I believe you said in the booth.
Yeah, look.
Yeah.
Look.
Science bars.
We snuck Derek in the booth, you know what I mean? And like we had him do some acting live with the young people, but we trying to do it all, man.
Yeah.
So he was spitting?
Yeah.
We had to spit a few bars.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can spit. Derek Luke spitting?
This is it, right? This
Derek
is it,
Luke
right? This is it.
Drop a beat on him, Wonder.
Biology bars.
Nah, you know what? Stop the beat. Stop the beat. Let me see. All right, check it out.
Did he forget his line?
Nah. So D. Luke out the booth. Speak the truth with each. D. Luke out the booth. Spit the truth with each verse. From birth, reverse the curse that was placed on the earth. From HSBCU to every PWI. True hardest, new hardest, you can't deny. From the pulpit to the pew, from the pew to the streets. D. Luke flowing over any hip hop beat. Stop.
Okay.
Let me stop.
Let it go. You got it. You got it. I got it like that.
I just felt like my balls just like got big, for real. But I'm a fan of hip hop.
Yeah.
And I'm more of a fan that, like, no matter where I go nationwide, like, I see us represented.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, in America, I see us more represented on the incarceration rate. Everything is a downswing opposed to an upswing. And like when I get on the plane, I'm usually like one of the few brothers on the plane. The other dude is the one that's handling the baggage.
Yeah.
And that's an honest job. But my whole connection with him was it was a summer when my mom said, "Yo, D, you got to find a job." And I opened up the classified. And I closed it quickly because it wasn't a lot of jobs that I can connect to. But most of the jobs that was in there was math and science related.
Yeah.
And so here I am with him coming full circle, and I feel like, a lot of us, people of color, we've been robbed of our greatness. You know what I'm saying? And just from the whole origin of math, I mean, that goes all the way back to Africa. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that, to me, like that's where we vibe the most, right? It's really talking about the origin of science and math. So young people are doing well in school now. We going in, we getting mass comm degrees, we getting art degrees, we getting history degrees, and that's all fine and well. But the one field of study where we have the least representation of folks of color is science and math.
Science and math.
Science and math. And in science and math, you actually make 26 times more money than you would in any other profession. It's the most revered. It's the most respected. Science and math is for the best and the brightest. And we've all been collectively convinced that we're not scientists and mathematicians. But when Wonder's behind the wheels and he knows exactly when to be able to cut that record, he has an innate scientific and mathematical understanding. You know what I'm saying? When young folks are here and they're sort of downloading things off the internet and then they're using those apps to be able to create beats, they're doing the same kind of work that a NASA engineer is doing. But they've been convinced for so long that they're not scientists or engineers. And so this work is to say, listen, by virtue of being a person of color in the United States to avoid incarceration, you're a scientist because you've learned where to go and where not to go. You've analyzed the situation. You've used the scientific method. You've been able to use metaphor and analogy to be able to navigate the world. And this is something that's inbred in us. Like, I was able to be successful as a scientist because when I was in grad school, when everybody else was wilding out over the exam, I'd go write some bars in the corner. And I remember them bars, and they all wilding out and flipping out. I'm hearing this beat in my head, and I'm spitting, and I'm successful. And so I'm a PhD now in urban education with a specialization in math, science, technology, right?
That's what's up.
I mean, can I talk real quick? Anthobiochemist by training.
Okay.
Masters in natural sciences. So I have my credentials in the sciences. But the most smart and intelligent scientists I knew did not go to grad school.
Wow.
They were on the corner, spitting bars, brilliant. Memorizing information, connecting things, a metaphor, an analogy, anti-authoritarian, descriptive in their language, which is what you want all the best scientists and mathematicians to do.
Yeah.
But we're not doing it because we've been convinced that this is not us. And so Science Genius is to say, listen, y'all, we are reclaiming our position as the next generation of scientists and mathematicians and engineers. And that's what we're here to do.
Chris, I have to say this while you're there. This is taking place. There's an event taking place next Friday at World Changers International, the Lowe's Paradise Theater, 2417 Grand Concourse, Bronx, New York. 6 p.m. So when the red carpet starts, 7 p.m. Derek, you're one of the producers. Sophia, your lovely wife is. Chris and Ebone Emdin.
Yep.
You guys are the producers. It's going to be a live stream too, right? How can people and where can people see the live stream?
So the live stream right now, we're going to put it out on hiphoped.com/conference.
Okay.
And then, of course, this the big shot right here. You go to Actor Derek Luke's page, and he's going to send you guys some links on where to go to be able to watch the event. But most importantly, come through. It's in the Bronx. It's 7 through 9. It's in the birthplace of hip-hop. On amazing theater. Wait, we got Ida MC in here too. We got one of the young people who's gonna spit.
How you doing?
Who's here?
Science Genius Rap Battles.
Science Genius Rap Battles. So just it's there for the community. It's free.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
Also, Big Daddy Kane and Rod Digger are going to be celeb judges for the battles.
That's right.
What just happened?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
So we got Big Daddy Kane coming through the judge on lyricism. We've got Rod Digger, which everybody knows is the first lady of Flip Mode. But wait, not only is Rod Digger from Jersey, that's important to know. But I want everybody to remember this. Rod Digger was an engineering and science major in college. She had close to the highest SAT score that was possible. She was contemplating a career and going into NASA. And when I spoke to her this morning on my way here, and we were talking about this conversation, she was like, you know what? A lot of people don't know that when I was writing those bars, I was thinking about them like I was conducting a scientific experiment.
And she did drop a lot of science.
She sure did. And I just want us to know that's what we do, y'all. Like, we've been doing this from the beginning, and we just want to open up the world to young people. So come see us in the Bronx, May 26th, 7 p.m., Paradise Theater in the Bronx. It's going to be amazing.
Okay. And we got somebody on the line right now who's a genius in his own right, in STEM. The one and only Donnell Rawlins is on the line. Donnell, what up, man?
I don't know how you go from math and science to the ashiest dude in show business in one conversation.
Well, it's a lot of science behind being as ashy as you've been for so many years. If you want to talk about that, go ahead.
I don't even know. Only black scientists I knew was the crack dealers in my neighborhood, and they would teach you how to buy the coke, cook the coke, cut it. I don't know if that's an equation or whatever, but to know that there's brothers out there that's dropping science like y'all did, man, that was awesome, man, and I had fun listening to it.
Oh, thank you so much, brother. And I want to say this because it's important to note. The brothers he's talking about who are in the corner, who are cutting, like he's joking, right? Yeah. But he is absolutely serious. These folks will be able to know the weight of something instantly. They could know the composition of the artifact that they're delivering quickly. They could know if it's fake or inauthentic quickly. And that is a skill of the most brilliant chemists on the face of the planet. Now, we could demonize them for what they are doing, but it does not deny the fact that they have a natural brilliance for being able to do it. And if they can apply that to academics, it's a whole new world.
What's that, Donnell?
If you're a mathematician and scientist, I've been struggling with eczema and ashy skin for my entire life.
Wow.
Eczema, fool.
Eczema.
All right, I'll give you the math that I know. It's a black male. He's 175 pounds, probably body fat of 30%. He's a dark complexion guy. What would be the equation if you had to use Vaseline and Queen's Anne's cocoa butter? what would be the proper equation to get him to be moisturized?
Bro, we don't even need an equation for that.
Bro.
We need him to just go take a bath in lotion and Vaseline fully. It's 100% concentration of Vaseline, and he's going to be all right.
That's your answer. Hey, Donnell, thanks for calling in.
Appreciate you,
got
brother.
anything going on, Donnell, that we should know about?
Yeah, I'm at the Hartford Funny Bone this week in Hartford, Connecticut. I was calling because there's this young DJ, and this is for you, Wonder, named DJ Impact. He's 17. He DJ'd the barbecue while I popped my leg, and he's a young kid coming out of Newark, and I want to try to give him a shot if I could. That's what I was calling for.
You just did, Donnell. All right, thank you, man.
Yo,
and he called me during the show. All right, hey, man, love you, Donnell. Peace. All right. Good. Once again, people want to find out more about this and the continued work that you guys are going to do even beyond May 26th. Who should they reach out, or how should they reach out?
You know what? You can reach out to.
Yeah, you can reach out to me, man. My name is Chris Emdin. I'm a professor at Columbia University at Teachers College, alumni fellow at the Harvard Archive. My connect is just www.chrisemdin.com, CHRISEMDIN.com. You can also go to hiphoped.com, HIPHOPED.com. But most importantly, man, you're gonna see it through all our work. So on Derek Luke's social media, follow him.
Hardest Films.
Hardest Films, Hardest Productions is the production company that's just doing this work, and there's so much more project that we're doing around, merging entertainment and hip hop and education.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I think I'm feeling like a healing right now, because I think you got to clean up my bars.
Okay. So you wanted to end the show with the bars?
Yeah.
We're gonna have you end the show with the bars. We can't do 5-minute bars.
Nah.
Lord Sirius getting pissed.
Give me one or two.
All right.
Give me.
But before you go, let me thank our guests for coming by. Modest Yahoo for coming through. Got his new album Undercurrent in stores today. All the MCs in the Friday Cypher. Noah O for coming through, killing it. Napoleon the Legend for coming through, killing it. Black Sun for coming through. D Block. Also, we're going to tell you about what we got going on next Friday. We're going to be broadcasting live in Minneapolis from Ice House MPLS from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. We're going to do our Friday Cypher out there.
Yup, and just to throw the address out there, it's 2528 Nicollet Avenue South.
Okay, and D, thank you for coming through. Derek
man,
Luke.
Thank you for having me.
I love you, bro. Keep up the good work, man. Keep
no
up the
doubt.
good work. Chris, same to you. Count me in. I wish I could be there next week, but I'll be there in the future.
You've done it in the past, and we know you do it again, man. We really appreciate you, man.
It's all love, man. All love. So what's your name again?
E.
E?
Yeah.
Okay, you going to end the show. Anybody else got anything to say?
Let E rock. Hey.
Okay, E, you going to end the show. And
Acapella?
when you're done, point at him. Okay, ready?
On a beat or acapella? It don't matter.
Okay, if it don't matter, you better spit that.
Okay. Yo, why can't I be a rapper, also be a genius too? Don't know how this rumor started, what a misconception too. That music can't help one achieve and succeed. Budget getting low, so you cut anything with a beat. Downgrading me a rapper, fail to see what's in my brain. But it's mesmerizing when I spit just to educate. When it happens to be science, listen as I demonstrate. When it happens to be science, listen as I demonstrate. I like to call myself a talking multicellular, a complex organism, something mutant and irregular. I came up out the womb with the bare dream in the mind. Living on this earth, I flow with the way I read and write, blowing smoke through my pipes, something like exhaust fumes, potent and unsettled, but I run low like I'm fossil fuels, really small molecules, growing out follicles. Never could you understand like the brain do all it do, but it's just a fact though. I bend all of the elements, call me Avatar, yo.
Call her Avatar, yo.
I'm different from the other kids. I tend to write like scientists, be cooking up some heat. I'll combust if you pressure me. I know I got a destiny. To me, it's a necessity. Like water to your body, it's taking up more than half of me. Half of me. Half of me, like water to your body, is taking up more than half of me.
That's what's up.
Says she's bending elements, call her Avatar. Wow, she made up for you, D. She made up for you.
She did.
All right, congratulations, and we'll continue to promote it all next week. So we'll remind people to make sure if they can't be there, to make sure they tune into the live stream. Okay,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, Science Genius Rap Battles. Yes, Kelly. What's up? Oh, okay. Come on. Yeah.
The Flintstones.
The Flintstones and the D is representing. You know, the owners of the station are from Detroit, Paul Rosenberg and Eminem. So y'all want to say some shout outs real quick? Go ahead. Say your name and who you represent.
Okay, I'm Taylor Scott, and I represent Flint. Shout out to Flint.
Get that water right. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. All right, go.
And my mom.
Okay.
My name is Sydney. I'm from Southfield, so shout out to Southfield. And my mom loves you, so this is for her.
Okay, cool. Y'all don't want to say your mother's names, though, huh?
My mother's name is Brandy.
Okay.
My name is Nikki. I represent Detroit, so shout out to the 7 Mile.
Hey, 1 mile away from him.
My name is Devin, and I'm representing Detroit, too, so shout out to the D.
All right,
I'm Michaela, and I just want to shout out U of M. Go Blue.
Okay. Y'all stood right next to Derek Luke and act like it wasn't nothing right there. You see that, man? D. All right, we want to thank everybody for tuning in. Have a good weekend. You can catch me at the Billboard Music Awards on the Red Carpet Show this Sunday. Being very hot and sweaty. And I'm looking forward to it, though. And until then, ladies and gentlemen, we have nothing left to say.
It's Sway in the morning, only
On Shade 45.